Rule number 1. Never lose money. Rule number 2. Never forget rule number 1. Remember that the stock market is a manic depressive. Should you find yourself in a chronically leaking boat, energy devoted to changing vessels is likely to be more productive than energy devoted to patching leaks. The more important things to do is, if you find yourself in a hole, is to stop digging. Price is what you pay, value is what you get. Beware the investment activity that produces applause. The great moves are usually greeted by yawns. Risk comes from not knowing what you are doing. Never invest in a business you cannot understand. In the business world, the rearview mirror is always clearer than the windshield. Time is the friend of wonderful company, the enemy of the mediocre. The 3 most important words in investing are margin of safety. It's far better to buy a wonderful company at a fair price than a fair company at a wonderful price. If a business does well, the stock eventually follows. Only buy something that you would perfectly happy to hold if the market shut down for 10 years. All there is to investing is picking good stock at good times and staying with them as long as they remain good companies. Calling someone who trades actively in a market an investor is like calling someone who repeatedly engages in a one-night stand a romantic. The stock market is designed to transfer money from active to passive. Our favorite holding period is forever. Do not take yearly results too seriously. Instead, focus on 4 or 5 years average. There seems to be same perverse human characteristics that like to make everything difficult. You do not need to be a rocket scientist. Investing isn't a game where the guy with 160 IQ beats the guy with 130 IQ. Forecasts may tell you a great deal about the forecaster. They tell you nothing about the future. It's better to have a partial interest in the Hope Diamond than to own all the rhinestone. Diversification is protection against ignorance. It makes little sense if you know what you are doing. Opportunities come infrequently. When it rains gold, put the bucket out, not the thimble. Windspread fear is your friend as an investor because it serves a bargain purchase. Keep things simple and don't swing for the fence. When promised quick profit, respond to the quick no. What we learn from history is that people don't learn from history. The investor of today does not profit from yesterday's growth. Money is not everything. Make sure you earn a lot before speaking such nonsense. Only when the tide goes out do you discover who has been swimming naked. Predicting rain doesn't count, building the art does. The best chance to deploy capital is when things are going down. I always knew I was going to be rich. I don't think I ever doubted it for a minute. Honesty is a very expensive gift. Don't expect it from cheap people. Someone sitting in the shade today because someone planted a tree long time ago. The difference between successful people and really successful people is that really successful people say no to almost everything.